my kids can't find their shoes, but they can find the one fucking onion that made it into their meal. Like that's it. Dinner time, they become detectives. Exactly. Tracy couldn't hold a candle to them.
No, they would put the Minnetonka Police Department to shame. They would have found those keys in no time in Stephen Avery's apartment.
Welcome to the Chip and Cern Show, the podcast about everything and nothing at the same time. They were possibly separated at birth, only to be rejoined to create the sweet sounds that will caress your deepest cochlea. The show is real, random, rant-filled, and ruthless. Please be warned that this show may hurt your feelings, offend your grandma, and even kick your dead dog in the balls. So get ready, and let's get this shit started.
This shit has started. I'm Chip.
I'm Cern.
And you are listening to the Chip and Cern Show.
Yes, potentially for the very first time.
I think so. Maybe. Or you're an old favorite and a comeback. Don't be nasty. Don't be nasty.
Don't be nasty.
Well, Cerny, you know what I tried for the first time a couple days ago? Some Takis.
Oh, for the first time.
I have never had Takis before. Now, I have had the Trader Joe's version of Takis, but I've not had the official one, so let me...
The OG.
The OG. The fucking reigning champ of snacks. Are they the goat of snacks, Takis?
They are the goat. They're addictive.
They are. So So I flew to North Carolina last week. I had a race. So I flew there, did the race, flew back. And Saturday night, I had a hotel in North Carolina, like 5 minutes from the Charlotte airport, because my flight was at 5:55 in the morning. So I know I was going to have to, I know I was going to have to be up early. So I just I was out by myself, went to a brewery, had a couple beers, had a nice Impossible Burger, smash burger at this place. I was treating myself. Right
after your race, why not?
Right after my race, I burned 3,000 calories, other craziest shit. I was going ham. And I also was like, well, I brought along some edibles, some gummies for myself to enjoy to make sure I was getting a sound sleep.
So you were really treating yourself.
So I was really treating myself.
While swerving.
Giddy up.
While swerving.
So I had my rental car that the whole weekend I just basically drove it like I had boosted it from somewhere. A Toyota Corolla.
That's the law, I swear.
You have to. Every corner just at 45 miles an hour, just pretty sure. Like, I'm surprised it didn't break the axle or anything. But anywho, I was filling this up, and gas over there is like $3 a gallon. Everything is, in comparison to California, it's on sale. So I'm filling up, and they had a 7-Eleven attached to this whatever gas station. And I was like, you know what? Hashtag treat yourself. Hashtag self-care. I had a couple beers in me. I knew I had my gummies waiting for me. And I literally had 6 hours before I needed to be asleep. So I was going to see if there's maybe a baseball game on or something and just hang out and get off my feet. I had done a big race. So I go in there. I'm like, I should try some fucking Takis because it's the GOAT. So I go in and I'm looking and they only had 2 flavors. They had the blue. Yeah.
Blue Heat and Fuego.
The blue one, and then they had the purple, the Fuego. Now, the blue seemed like a bridge too far for my first. I'm like, I don't know, is the blue a different flavor? I didn't want to, so I ruled out the blue, and I saw the Fuego, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure this means
number
hot.
One. That's the king. Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm a little bit worried. Is there, I'm just your average white guy. Is there white guy spicy? Like just something, like a mild salsa. Do they have a mild salsa version of Takis? I just need to keep it right between the lines.
They're probably not there, but they actually do. It's actually my favorite is fajita.
Ooh, that sounds
one,
good.
I can't get enough of that one. But anyway, sorry.
I'll have to keep my eye out for that. So I got some Fuegos.
It's a green bag.
A green bag. Okay, I'm gonna keep my eye out for that. I got the Fuegos, and then I like, you know what? I could be dehydrated. Let me see what Gatorade has to offer. So I got a Gatorade. So I'm like, this is injecting me back into high school when we would just go and hit up and just buy tons of snacks at the AM/PM.
What'd you get, Frost?
I did. I got the cherry frost. And then I was just walking around and I'm like, what else sounds good around here? And I saw they had a deal on buy 2 king size for $5. So I got some candy bars. So this is pretty outside my normal, activities, my normal purchasing activities at the gas station.
But you're
this
treating
is what
yourself,
I scored.
Okay.
I was treating myself.
It's a pass.
So I went back and I had the chips, and I ended up watching the Formula One race that was on. So I was watching that, and I opened the Takis.
How many edibles did you take?
I was just glued. I was glued on the bed.
I couldn't.
First thing I went in.
One of those.
It's actually really exciting, but anyway, it's a lot different from NASCAR. I will say that.
Okay.
First thing I did when I got in the hotel room, of course, fucking crank that shit down as cold as it can go. 60? Let's have it.
Icebox.
Yeah, let's get it going. There's no wife. There's no kids. Oh, it's too cold, this or that. Treat yourself.
My temp.
So I popped the Takis and I looked at them. I'm like, there's a lot of dust on these things. So I got.
Oh yeah, they don't skimp on the dust.
No. So I went to the bathroom and I got the perfect towel size for cleaning up a jerk, the little hand towel.
Yeah.
So I said, let me bring this by me, and I'm laying on the bed.
Just make sure you don't make a mistake later after you wipe your hands.
Yes.
It'll be painful.
You don't want the Takis dust towel to be your jerk rag, because that's that's an all bad situation.
You don't make that mistake once. You make that mistake once.
Yeah, absolutely. You'll be scarred for life. And so I cracked these Takis open, and I had a couple. I'm like, okay, these are tasty. But then the heat kind of started building up.
It builds on itself.
It builds, and I'm like, okay, hold on. I've had about 10 or 15, whatever. Mm-hmm. Let me pause, because the heat was getting up. It was building. So I had to let it come down and reset. And I put the bag away. I put the bag away, and I was like, man, those are fucking good. I'm like, I kind of want some more of those. So went back, and I only divvied out a couple for myself that I knew I could handle.
You can handle, yeah.
But I will say,
you have a couple, and it's like that. There's like a lime taste or something that makes you want to come back for more.
For me, it's the super salty lime, and the heat. The heat bit is addicting to me as well. But the salty lime aspect,
it's not overpowering. Realistically, it's not like you take a bite and you're like, breathing fire.
Yes.
It does get hot, but after you eat like 10, because it starts, you do have to pause. Once you pause, it's basically a start over. You can start back over it.
Yes.
Restart. That counts to 10 again.
It's not like what happened with the hot sauce challenge, the hot ones. Remember we did that one Thanksgiving?
Yeah. That was
and
rough.
No matter how much time you let pass, the heat just kept escalating.
Just kept going.
It kept going. There was no turning back from it.
It was a downpour of sweat.
Chugging milk and different dairy products, trying to get all the casein.
Or that one time where we ate the fucking pepper. Remember the pepper in the
Chinese food?
Yeah. Ooh.
When you guys were ridiculing me, calling me a little bitch and stuff because I said it was really spicy.
Including your wife, I might add.
Yes.
Because we all had it. We're like, what the hell? And they're like, what's wrong with Chipper? He's being a little bitch. And then, and then we went back for round 2. And I don't know. Maybe we had a different pepper the first time. But the second time, I was like, oh, my God. It was like
it lit us up. It was hot. So I got to say, the Takis, I score very high marks for the Takis Fuegos. Now, tell me about the blue. Seller. Tell me about the blues.
The blue, it's not. I don't think it's as spicy as the Fuego. I can't really tell you what the flavor is.
Oh.
I mean, they're not bad. I thought they're okay. They're not as good as the Fuego.
But it turns your hand. You get blue dust all over then.
Yeah, you get blue instead of red. It's blue. They used to have before COVID. We had these like mouth changing ones, so it would be like orange.
Wow!
It was like and then you would eat it and you'd turn your mouth green.
Whoa!
They weren't bad. It was like scorpion barbecue, and there was some other shit, some other flavor. I can't remember what it was. Now, lava, nacho lava, or some fuck. And
nice.
They weren't bad, and they were pretty. They were pretty big for a little bit, but then COVID hit and demand like skyrocketed. So they said all the extra shit, stop, and we'll just run long lines of
with the Fuegos
of the Fuegos and the Blue Heat.
Okay, so now I have to go find some Blue Heat.
They have like Wild now, which is like a buffalo wing sauce flavor or something.
Ooh,
like that one's pretty good.
Sign me up for that one. I can get into that. I love buffalo.
You know what's actually I like? We make Takis peanuts.
So peanuts with the Takis dust on them?
Yes, they have two versions. Just one with the dust on them, which is good. Uh-huh. They also have one with like a shell with the dust on it. So it's like a crunchy shell with those.
Oh. Is it a little sweet too in there?
Yeah, the little tiny bit of sweetness to it, and then you get the heat.
That sounds... I have to keep my eyes peeled for that. So if for some reason we haven't had Takis, go give them a try.
I mean, it's all big. It's all the kids eat.
It's all what everyone's into. And then Trader Joe's. If you're a Trader Joe's fan, we partially shop at Trader Joe's for our groceries. They have they don't carry like name brand.
Yeah,
they just have Trader Joe's.
They're like the private label specials. What they are.
Yeah, and they have their own version of Takis, but they're not the spicy ones. It's just chili lime or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So
something about that little bit of spice is like it's addictive.
I agree, and you can get Takis at Target. I mean, everywhere. Target, Walmart, whatever. Yeah,
your gas stations is everywhere.
Nice. So, and I did bring them home because I didn't finish the bag, and I also didn't go for the,
like the family size,
the regular size. I just did. Yeah, I'm like, I'm gonna be bad, but I'm not gonna be that bad. I'm not gonna be naughty.
You wake up from your edible haze, and you have just a carnage of treats and snacks.
5 a.m. I'm running late to the airport. It's just like, I have all this Takis dust on me. Like my mouth's on fire.
It's like those stories you hear with the people that take like the sleeping pills and stuff, and then they wake up and they like demolish their kitchen. There's a pie crust like on your chest and shit. You're like, what happened?
Just the pecan pie in bed with you. No protection. Yeah, and then like 2 days later, they get $4,000 of Amazon purchases that they ordered with no recollection, just coming through in the mail.
I didn't order this. Fraud.
Yeah, huh? All this pie related stuff because you're apparently into pecan pies when you're when you're fucking loopy on Ambien and shit. So, yeah, but so Takis, I'm a fan. I'm gonna have to keep my eye out. I'm gonna work them in the rotation now.
I do like those too. It is like a little guilty pleasure. Like, ooh,
it is.
Something's.
It feels quote unquote healthier than a potato chip because I think it's just like a tortilla chip rolled up with dust on it. Not all over it. It's immersed in dust.
Yeah.
You can't get away from the.
It's coated in dust.
I mean.
I dare you to pull a chip with you can actually see the actual color of the corn tortilla.
Yeah. Oh, one of the Takis de Fuego looked like Elmo's dick. It was red and it just had so much red fuzz dust on it.
Oh man.
That was it. So big fan. And
did your wife did she
She was into them, but I let her have some, and then I just kind of polished the rest of the bag. There wasn't much left. But now, gotta say, I'm definitely Jones, and I might have to go on the hunt for more Takis.
Yeah, you gotta get fajita. If I find one, I'll pull one for you. So
okay,
next time
I might take the kids to Target after tonight. Just do a Takis run. Just swoop them all up. Are they your kids? Buy them out. Your kids eat it? Even the Fuegos?
Yeah, even the Fuego, they'll eat them. Jeffrey's like, he'll eat a couple. Like he'll eat like one or two, and then he's like, oh, okay, which is fine because if you put pepper on his food, he'll tell you it's fucking spicy. So I'm always wondering when he grabbed one of the Takis, I was like, are you sure you want to do that?
That's where we are.
You know what? That's the amazing thing sometimes because like we'll eat something and I'll be like, oh, this has a little spice to it. I'm like look at Jeffrey, and he'll eat it, and then there's other things where it's like. I don't taste any spice. Has pepper on it. He's like, he's like acting like there's a blowtorch in his mouth.
They're like, "What's this green thing?" I'm like, "What? Where do you see it?" They're like, "Right here." I'm like, "It's literally like a speck of like a one pepper grind thing of dust."
Yeah. they can't see. I saw this thing where it was like, my kids can't find their shoes, but they can find the one fucking onion that made it into their meal. Like that's it. Dinner time to become detectives. Tracy couldn't hold a candle to them.
No, they would put the Minnetonka Police Department to shame. They would have found those keys in no time in Stephen Avery's apartment. No question
on the
about
first
it.
pass. First pass.
On the first pass, not a week later after.
Put a fucking onion on it, and it's game on. They'll find it.
They found the keys because he was using an old grilled onion ring as a keychain holder.
Oh shit!
It was for his RAV4 keys. The RAV4.
The RAV4.
Yeah. So Takis, big hit over here.
So with this house thing, we had to turn back in Robin's car, and she had to get another car, but not in her name. And we were looking at Toyota. Allegedly, they were looking for. They were pushing the RAV4 or the RAV4 as they were saying, but I kept saying RAV, like RAV4. And every time you say, "Oh, we have this RAV4," I'm like RAV. I kept doing that. So then I was like, "I don't know if I like it." I was like, "No way." No. She's like, "What?" I was like, "You will be murdered. You will be murdered, and they will find this car in a lot." And it took her a while because she wasn't picking up on it, like she'd forgotten all about. She's like, "What the hell are you talking about?" I was like, "What?"
The docudrama
come out. And then they finally clicked. She's like, "Don't be stupid." I was like, "Too late."
Sorry, I was born. I'm born. What's
stupid.
it to you? Can't help it. That's great. The RAV4. I don't know. Yeah, I think the RAV4. I don't know. It's you're not really committing to the SUV, but
see, that's the type of car that Robin likes. She doesn't want the full SUV, but she doesn't want a car either. The crossover, whatever they call it.
Yeah, crossover. It's a good call. It's good.
Well, we don't have the RAV4. We have something else.
Now, Cerny, I come to you for advice on a few different subjects. One, any sort of handyman, any building things or constructing or anything like that. I always lean in.
Because I've made a million mistakes.
I always try to learn from your mistakes and take the different approach. This next topic, I'm going to ask for your advice. I'm not totally. I'll just get started on it.
Lay it on me.
Okay. So, one of our daughter's friends at school in kindergarten, her parents are vets. So they're both vets, like at the same animal hospital. So regularly they're getting fostering like kittens or dogs or things like this. So of course there's a new cat that got surrendered to the vet, and the mom cat has like 4 kittens, and they're all at this friend's house. And of course, can we have a play date at so-and-so's house? Can we have a play date every fucking day? We're getting asked to have a play date.
Of course.
So today she's at said play date, and I'm literally receiving pictures of my daughter holding the kittens that are like the size of a softball, like barely.
Oh no.
And she's already, I want to buy a cat. Can we get a kitten for my birthday? And I don't know. Am I gonna be able to combat this? And how long can I put a united front up against this, Ernie?
So her birthday is in what, October?
October. So that's a good 6 months to kick that.
Yeah. So I was like, when your birthday comes around, maybe if you push it off, like they'll lose interest.
Okay.
And I've done that. Scary thing.
Has it been effective? So
I'm bad about 70%. Like they'll forget. Like a lot of times they forget and they move on to something else. Like or it's like, and usually with the birthday, it may even cost you a little bit more up front. But it's like, instead of a cat, wouldn't you like something, and it's something a little bit more grand?
Not a cat.
Not a cat. Yeah, not a cat.
A bike.
Or a bike or an electric scooter or some kind of crazy shit. But it's like, then you can kind of like, oh, I'm like, oh, you could, and then you try to, then you put your selling shoes on. And you're like, wouldn't you like to ride around at top speed?
Feel the wind ripping through your hair.
You'd be the cool. Does anybody in your school have it? No, you'd be the first one. You'd be the coolest kid on the fucking block. Get out of here.
Okay. So I got to work on my pitch. I mean, I have nothing against cats, but we already have 2 dogs, and we already have neighborhood cats that come down and we just feed them. So we have like 2 or 3 neighborhood cats, but they're outdoors only. So I'm not opposed to another outdoor cat because that's separate, but like I know that's probably not going to happen. And my daughter, Charlie's already like, oh yeah, well, when I like put her into bed, she's like, oh, here's where the cat's going to sleep, like on her pillow. I'm like, what if the cat doesn't want to? You know, like, you know how the kids are just like, oh no, the cat's just hanging out my room all the time.
Especially with cats, it's like they don't quite understand. Like, cat kind of does what the cat wants to do. You ain't gonna tell the fucker what to do.
And that's why.
Or you're gonna get your ass scratched.
That's one of my main gripes with cats is that they don't follow the societal rules, the rules of engagement in the house. They do their own thing.
They exist.
They jump on the counter. They are on the table. They just, I don't know. I just can't do it. It's just too much. I'm afraid I'm going to lose this battle because it's already it's already the kids against me, and my wife is being Switzerland at the moment.
So
but we all know.
Neutral?
Yeah, we all know which way she's going to go. And
that's how I lost the dog battle. I was a hard no. And then the kids, rallied behind it.
A united front.
And then they convinced Switzerland to
join NATO.
Join NATO, and then that was the evil empire here, and I fucking caved.
Wow, right? Because you don't want to be They put you in a position where if you're going to dig your heels in and say no, now you're just being a dick.
Yeah,
and your kids, now you're a bad guy to your kids.
Yeah,
and about kids. I can't have that.
This is what the kids do too. That it's like, no, I don't want that. Then they make you justify it, like, but why not? Tell me why. I'm like, I gotta justify my answer to you because I said no. What the fuck? I don't want
it. Justify it to people who are literally not contributing anything to the house.
You're a negative on the balance sheet, but you're not a positive. What are you talking about? I got to justify my actions to you?
You're a red line. You are a red cell. And
you're going to add another red cell to the mix.
Lord. I know.
But it was like, you know what? At the end of the day, it's like, I mean, when it's like, it was constant badgering. Mine was months. And finally I said, fuck it. Whatever.
I will say with the cats, though, I feel like, from what I've heard, the training and the sort of like, doing the litter box training and all that sort of stuff is a little bit easier. They're a little smarter.
Quicker. I grew up with cats, and they were pretty quick. No, the cats actually behave for the most part but my dad was like the hammer on them. They jumped on the counter, and he was all over their shit.
Okay.
So
I have to. What do I need? Like a squirt bottle to be
squirt gun. I think he even went so much that he grabbed one by the scruff of the neck and tossed it off the counter. So he tried to.
That's one approach.
Because it jumped up. I remember it was like chicken, and he like put the chicken in, and it like jumped up, and thought it was going to help itself, and he like turned around and I heard, "What the fuck?" And I saw this cat flying across the room. I was like, "What happened?" He's like, "Fucking idiot."
And I'm concerned about. Everyone in the house has shoulder length hair at least. We have the dogs. There's a lot of hair in the house, and another beast with hair. I'm also not looking forward to that.
So I think there's some cats that are hyperallergenic or whatever.
Okay, I guess they have dogs like that too now. Like
there's a cat.
Poodle
I think we had a cat. Don't quote me on this, but I think like a tabby, because we had a tabby, and I don't really remember ever it like brushing his hair and like having a clump of hair in it.
Okay. All right. I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure we're going to get it. And I'm sure there'll be a photo of me where it's sitting on my lap and I'm petting it, or we're fucking snuggling. I already know there's going to be incriminating evidence supporting a contrary to my narrative right now. But
living the CERN life. Say no to dogs. And then there's one dog that always loves to sit with me, and I'll sit there and pet him, and it's like, oh, hey, what's going on? Because he's like my little buddy. And then pictures taken, boom, dog lover now. I'm like, what?
You're not going to be. If the dog sits up and is hanging on your lap, you're not going to start abusing it. You're going to scratch the dog on its head. Yeah. Well, you're not an evil human. You're not an animal abuser.
No.
You're not on PETA's most wanted list. But yeah, I mean, you're nice to animals. You're not, going around kicking them and beating them all the time.
No.
What do they expect? Oh, okay. Fucking cats, man. Do you think I can get away with just one, or is it a thing where they're better? And we have 2 kids, though.
Oh, that's the scary part. Because that's how I got duped into several. Because we had one. Somebody else wanted. We have 3 dogs. We know this.
Yeah.
There's
you have a couple cats, though, too.
No more cats.
Oh.
One ran away.
Uh-oh.
And the other one was adopted by the neighbor. The neighbor started feeding and shit, and never, because I don't think the cat wanted to deal with the dog. So I was like, oh god, get out of here.
That's another thing. So, we have one dog who's like 7 now, and then one dog that's old, almost going to be 15, and she's blind and can't see and deaf and all sorts of problems.
Yeah.
And Charlie's like, when Ari dies, can we get a cat? She keeps asking us.
Already replacing her.
Ari, she's not even out the door yet. And she's
Ari's getting the on-deck batter up.
Yeah. Sorry, Ari. You provided a lot of value to this family, but once you die, your replacement's already being planned. So I think my rule is going to be that we have to one for one. One for one, I think is good. But I could see a scenario where we're going to need to get 2.
Yeah. But I mean, you could probably, Sunny's what, 3?
Yeah.
So you could probably wait and be like, maybe she's a little older.
Or you have to be 6 or 7. Yeah. When you turn 7,
we'll all share the cat for now, and then as we get
I don't
older,
think that sharing's going to fly with her. Especially if it's on
her sharing.
Birthday. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's true. On her birthday too.
Boy. Maybe I'll just say it's Dad's cat. You have to ask me to borrow it and stuff.
Yeah. I'll share it with you as long as you share it. I'll share it with you, but you have to share it with Sunny.
Yeah. I mean, and the kids do nothing in the way of feeding the dogs besides, when they're done with their slice of grilled cheese, they just throw it on the ground so the dogs can go gobble it up.
Now, Jeffrey that's his job. He wakes up in the morning, he feeds the dogs. And then at dinner time, he feeds the dogs. Like, half a cup, whatever.
A scoop of food or whatever, yeah.
Yeah. So he has that. And he cleans up the dog poop Tuesday through Saturday, and then Zach has the other 3.
Okay.
Now, there are days that we forget because I come out there and there's like a fucking landmine. There's like, I'm like, what the hell? Did you forget yesterday? Oh, I don't think so. I was like, there's no way that the dog shit this much. There's no way. Looks like he forgot the last 2 days. No, I don't know. I don't know if I did. I'm like, oh, you don't know. Okay, well, I'm telling you I did.
Yeah. Do you want me to roll back the Nest footage and we could check? I'll scrub through the footage right now for a 9-year-old walking around in the backyard cleaning up dog shit, but I don't think I'm going to find it.
In his undies.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Of course.
Always.
Now, I feel like the only cool thing about having a cat is I imagine there's some seriously automated robo cat litter situation.
I think there is. I think James, my brother has one. I'll have to ask him. I think he does have one.
Because that seems like a good idea. Something that cleans up the shit, and then maybe like once a week or once a day you just do it. Like I don't want to have to be digging it out of there with the kitty litter. But
cat.
It could be. I'm not feeling particularly good about my odds about not having it.
Especially if the wife is going neutral. That's potential for flipping around here, right there.
Well, here's the problem, is that when I was out of town, they went to when we're out of town, it's like the wife, it's like, oh, whatever, take it on easy mode. If you need to go out to dinner and get pizza, like whatever, it doesn't matter. Just do whatever's easiest. And they went to this pizza place, and in the same little center, there's a pet store. And one time we went, they had cats there for adoption. They had like 4 kittens.
Oh, no.
So they went in and they were looking at them, and there was like a brother and sister cat that, one was black and one was gray. And they're like, oh, we have to be so the kids were just, can we just get one now? Like, oh.
Yeah.
So they went back to the store. My wife took them back there without me there. So obviously there's some serious colluding going on.
There is collusion.
There's some serious collusion happening in my absence while I'm jamming Takis down the hatch. They're looking at fucking cats.
Swerving.
And so, yeah, my wife said today, she's like, oh yeah, I think we're probably just going to get a cat.
I think so.
My ship is
she's testing the waters.
I think
I would be wary if she's like, hey, do you want this edible? She'll just like slide you on. We got to talk about this cat situation. Like, wait a minute. We're going to talk about before I eat this fucking thing.
Yes, hold on. Okay, this will hit me in 35 minutes, so go.
You're on the clock.
You're on the clock.
Once the clock hits 35, discussion's over.
Yeah, so we have that. We got to integrate with a 2-dog household, or at least a 1-dog household. And I mean, Zoe, she's a sweetheart, but she's
level 10 hyperness.
She's high energy and she's a spaz. So I don't know how that's going to work with the cats. I don't think she's not going to like try to kill them, but I think she would try to play with them, and then who knows what would happen.
Yeah, nose getting scratched.
Yeah. So I'm sure there's some protocol that we have to do with that.
So it was a while ago. They reminded me of the story. It was like it was like PetSmart. We were walking by and they had a bunch of fucking dogs, puppies. And I remember, it's like, okay, we got to get one. We got to get one. And I'm sure I looked like the world's worst parent because it was like, I said, no. And they're like, oh, but look at it. I said, no, we can't. I'm not building Noah's fucking ark at my house. I can't do it. I'm not a fucking zookeeper, I think is what I said.
Which is the truth. It's like it's just so much. And it's like one more thing. And I'm like, that's the last thing I need right now.
We have several animals.
I know.
I have to feed his fucking snake. My biggest fear of life is a rat every week. I got to stare down the barrel of my fears every Friday. Get him a fucking rat. And they're always like, do you want to see it? I'm like, no. Because they want to check it. They're like, this lady's like picking it up, like holding it in my face. Like, it looks good. I'm like, yeah.
Oh, it has to be the live ones too, right?
Yeah. Yes. Has to be alive. It's like, and then, and then Jeffrey always adds on to it. He's like, what if it got out? I'm like, hey, you know what? We're not fucking talking about that right now. Or otherwise the snake's going back. Okay?
Are you trying to get rid of your snake right now? Because it seems like you are. Man, I think. And in related news, Zoe, the dog, today officially marks we're starting her on a weight loss regimen.
Oh, so we have another one too. That's like a kiwi.
Yeah. So back when we lived in San Francisco, no backyard or anything. So constantly going on up and down 3 flights of stairs, going on walks 2, 3, 4 times a day. We had a dog walker to take him out when we'd be at work and stuff. So staying trim, youth, also younger, and walking around plenty. Now moving up to the burbs, a lot more sleeping. All you got to do is just walk out in the backyard, take a piss on the deck, come back inside. Not any exercise. And then we're at the age with the kids where they tell you they want mac and cheese or a grilled cheese. They have one bite, and then the whole fucking thing is just they don't touch it because they don't eat leftovers and stuff. And, I feel bad like throwing this away. So I just, everyone just kind of gives it to the dog. Well, that's caught up with her, the old girl. And because I had to pick her up the other day, and I was like, oh my God, I'm like, she's fucking hefty. And her breed is, it's like a basset hound. So they're sturdier to begin with, a little bit more hefty, a little robust dog. But I picked her up. I'm like, this is getting worrisome.
She's gone from robust to rotund.
Yes, definitely. And then when she goes through the dog door, especially at a high rate of speed, it kind of shakes the whole thing because she's barely fitting in the sides. She's like banging up the ribs on the side.
Banging the walls.
Banging up the sides. And so we weighed her today. The whole deal where you have to pick them up and you stand on the scale holding the dog, and then you just stand on and you do the math.
Yeah.
She weighed in at 51.5 pounds.
Oh, baby.
I would say every time we've gone to the vet, they're probably like, oh, she's a little bit bigger. But this is another leap above, so we got to do something. So I think her normal weight should probably be around 35 pounds. So she's pretty big.
She's a little bit.
So the new rule, and then so we had to explain it to Charlie, the 6-year-old, like we got to stop giving Zoe all the food that we're not eating, you know, like no more grilled cheese crust, no more pizza crust. Like, I guess we just got to throw it away or put it in the compost bin or whatever. She's like, how come? Like, well, she snores. She can't jump up on the thing anymore. She needs like a sleep apnea mask. You'll be trying to watch, you know, a show on the couch and you just
Hey, that sounds
so
like
funny.
our dog Kiwi does the same thing. Snores. And
Yeah.
stuff. I'm like, first time I was like, "What the hell is that?" Like I couldn't figure out. I was like, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah.
Like, it's the dog. I was like, "The dog is snoring." It's not even a fucking bulldog. I was like, "Good God."
I know. So yeah. So we're starting the diet plan for the dog, and we're not doing the whole thing of like, you know. And so today she's scratching at the bowl like, oh.
Oh no, yeah.
She's struggling. She's already struggling on day one. I'm like, hold strong.
Go with the
Hold strong.
withdrawals.
Yeah, already.
Yeah, methadone clinic.
She's gonna like start gnawing on sticks outside to like, you know. So we'll see how it goes.
Maybe
And then
give
I
her
thought,
an
well, maybe
edible,
I'll-
let her fly.
Oh yeah. Oh, that might kick in the munchies. Then she'll be in a real bad way.
You're right. Scratch
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
It's great. That's a horrible idea if you're trying to lose weight. Though
That brainstorm
gummies.
stops there.
But now I feel like I'm responding. I got to take her out for a walk or something once a week, stretch the legs.
There you go.
But I don't want to do it all on day one. Like,
Oh man, you have a heart attack or straight up.
I know.
Like, well,
like a
Charlie,
quadruple bypass.
we're gonna get 2 cats. One dog
Both
is
dogs are
dying.
gone now. Do you remember when like the first day when you go back to the gym and you're like you printed out your plan
You
for
feel
strength?
great. Yeah. And then
I'm
the
gonna
next
work
day,
back and buys today. And then the next day you wake up and you're like, I can't possibly move.
I can't even get out of bed. You know, like roll.
Yeah. You're like, I need to take 4 days off from this one day. It's just craziness. So we got a lot of animal situation going on over here.
It never goes away
But based on-
until they hit like probably like 14, and then they just drop those fucking turds right in your lap, and you're stuck with all these animals.
Oh, and they're not interested in the chores or anything like that.
No, then they're out.
Mhm.
They're out doing their own shit, and you're like, well,
Well-
that's why Jeffrey tried to get a tortoise last time. He's like,
Don't those
we got-
live for like 80 years or something?
150. I said, that is a lifetime pet. I said, that is not like a figurative lifetime pet. That is literally a lifetime pet. This fucking thing is going to outlive both you and I. No fucking way.
Yeah, you're going to have to pass this thing to your kids.
I know. We are fucking heirlooms. This tortoise.
Heirloom tortoise. Oh my gosh. So okay. So look in my crystal ball in the next 6 months, I probably have at least one cat.
At least.
And you probably want him as a kitten so you can kind of rear him a little bit better, right?
Yeah. You kind of, that's where you can kind of show them the ropes. You know, they're a kitten, and they'll
Okay.
be, you know, it may take them a little bit longer to do the cat box thing and stuff, but you can kind of set the boundaries and minor corrections here or there, because those cats will still test the shit, you know,
Yeah.
when they want.
Okay. My outlook doesn't look good, Cerny. It's probably I
No.
should just concede.
Sounds
See
like
that?
there is collusion already, so I think
It's already
That's it.
happening. Okay. And I'm the only thing I have to look for is
the train's in motion. Either you jump on the train or you're gonna run over.
that's
the only option.
100% true. Now, can I make this cat an indoor-outdoor cat?
Yeah, I mean, we growing up, that's what we had.
How do you do that?
It would come in and like at night and sleep and stuff. But if it's raining and shit, they ain't going outside. I'll tell you that right now. They ain't going outside.
Yeah.
But if it's nice, you let them out, and then you kind of like, especially when they're kittens, and you call them back in and stuff, so you kind of give them the habit before they can scale the fence. because eventually they'll scale the fence and they'll kind of, cruise around, which is fine. But I know in your area, I mean, I buckle up for
coyotes.
Maybe one day it's like, ooh, Fluffy didn't come home.
Uh-oh. That's a good point. Yeah. So, but they're pretty good at habit. Picking up habits.
Yeah, once you kind of get them on a routine, like, as long as you keep the food inside, I think, as well, like, then they'll come inside to eat, then they'll know that's where they got to go.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, stay tuned. Chipmunks and Cerny Sluts. The story has just begun. Yeah,
this is the first chapter.
We covered all the bases today, Cerny. Takis, cats,
Swerving.
Forthcoming, Swerving, brief North Carolina, and then some dog diets. Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah.
We got baseball's happening. It's everything. Everything's going.
It's rolling.
NBA playoffs.
I don't follow that too much, but it's rolling.
Me neither. I think the Warriors are still in it.
Yeah, I follow enough to where I kind of like keep up on, like, I don't watch the games, but I kind of see, okay, this is where it's at.
You know what's happening.
Just in case somebody brings up work, and I'm like, huh?
The Nets got swept.
Yep. They did get swept by the Celtics. Yep. Okay. I did see the tirade by Stephen A. Smith calling Ben Simmons the worst athlete of all time or some shit.
Nice. All right. Well, another one in the bag. We done did it. Anything? We got hats. I just was cleaning out some stuff, found some more Chip and Cern Show hats. So if you want a hat on the house.
Shirts on the house. No,
send us an email. Free.
chipandcernshow@gmail.com. We'll let you know.
Easy.
We'll let you have it. Easy breezy.
No problem. We're just trying to get, clear up space in the closet before I, have a bunch of cat stuff in there or something. Or low-calorie dog food for my obese dog.
You got to lock it away. So just...
Yeah, under lock and key. The good kibble has to be hidden from the dog, who is also a scavenger. The kids run in the other room, and there's a sandwich sitting there, and ain't sitting there for long. Just a opportunist to the back.
Just waiting for you to turn your back, then bam.
Exactly, to pounce right on it. Just like these listeners were going to pounce right on the hats. I have a feeling.
This is the week. This is the week.
We're going to ship 5 of them out, Cerny. Be ready.
I'm ready.
We should set up residence at the postal service, post office. We're going to ship and receiving, import, export, mostly exporting.
Yeah.
But that's all for this week. Until next time, I'm Chip.
I'm Cern.
Cheers.